I chose this area of Italy firstly because it's so beautiful, very historical, lots of coastline, but the communities in the small towns, there's a lot of togetherness, and in San Vito especially, people seem to look out for one another and help each other whenever they can. So it just seems like a perfect place to go for a holiday and also for the future. One of the key points that attracted me to the area was the ancient history of the land. The Via Appia, the Roman roads, all coming down here, all pointing to the east. I thought that was a fascinating idea, an outlook onto the east, but still really untouched and not lots and lots of tourists all mobbed in the small streets down here. And secondly, the local Italian culture, from the trulli houses to the olive oil to the bread to the all different types of food in the area. They were the two biggest factors coming down here. So I'm from London, central London, so very different from Puglia, and I'm a teacher of philosophy, history and religion. So there were certain factors in this area that brought me down here as well. Out here, it's very different from the classroom. It's very relaxed and very calm, so it was a nice place to come. To be honest, I first found luxury Puglia property on the internet, just surfing, looking around, going on various sites, and it was the first site really that could put the whole package together properly. When I made phone calls, someone that always made the effort to communicate in full English, nothing was ever left to second guessing, and the relationship continued for the first month just really on email. Took the plunge, flew out here, and Antonio, who's just so helpful, driving us around, picking us up at the airport, taking us to and from his office, taking us down little lanes to little properties that had a big future ahead of them that I wasn't going to share. Until obviously we found the house we're in now. Very happy with it. All questions were always answered. Anything that we could put out there that might be a stumbling block in the future, such as who owns next door, is there any noise, is there a crime rate, or anything that you could think of that you could possibly be worried about. Antonio always did his best to find out about or knew about it. And friends in England who bought property, I was starting to be a bit alarmed because all I ever heard about was fees and meeting deadlines and mortgages and that kind of thing. But I couldn't believe how easy it actually was. On the day that we exchanged, we met the then current owners in the notario's office, went upstairs, read the contracts together in the same room. Antonio was there, he got me an English translator, so everything was perfectly understood from the very beginning. Gave me a coffee. It was literally done in 1 hour, signed over. I presented a cheque to the then current owners, and I was given the bunch of keys then, and that was it. And we drove to the house straight away, had a look at it, had a little drink to celebrate, and it was all done.
We had looked at other locations, including some of the Greek islands, but one of the attractions of the Puglia region was the fact that it had the same climate, but also it's on the mainland. So we are able to drive here or come by train or public transport. There's a range of different types of transport, but we also get the Mediterranean climate. And when we investigated Puglia, we liked the whole truly concept, the buildings. We researched the architecture, we researched the area and found that the crime level was very low, we felt safe here, and it just seemed a good place to be. And when we arrived here for the first time, we found that was the case, didn't we?
In March.
In March, yeah. And so it just felt good. It felt right. And when we did arrive, we were made most welcome, and we find everybody very friendly, don't we?
Very friendly indeed, and all the local food is fantastic as well.
I also have to say that in our adventure to find a foreign place in the sun, there was a programme on British television many years ago about a couple who built or renovated a house near Ostuni. And we really enjoy watching the programme and to see them looked 20 years younger.
10 years later.
After they had done it, we thought, this is something we need to do.
It's less stressful, isn't
Yeah.
it, here? Found the service very good, very easy. As far as the notary is concerned, it's a lot quicker, more efficient than anything.
Simpler as well.
Simpler than anything in England, where you have to go through solicitors and wait for weeks, and it was all done professionally with the owners and the buyers there, so I was very impressed with that. As far as the service with the estate agents are concerned, initially they rescued us because we'd organised to see so many places when we came over here in March, and the first estate agent we went to was closed, and 2-3 doors down was Antonio, and he sat us down, looked through a lot of different buildings and found this one and 2 others, arranged appointments pretty quickly, and came to have a look round, and the process after that was very clean and efficient, and we could move forward quite quickly. So yes, I was impressed with the estate agents.
I think also
Definitely.
what was good was within just a few minutes we had English-speaking Vincent there.
Yes.
So rather than it being very, very difficult, it became much easier. And many estate agents because we did go through several estate agents, they're all very, very pleasant, very good people, but it was quite hard to explain to some of them what we were looking for. So I think in this case, it was good to have an English-speaking interpreter there very quickly. So that was a bonus for us, really. Another thing which is obviously quite important is the cost to actually get to your destination. And we did research with regard to airlines and flights, and Brindisi is a very low-cost place to get to, even in high season. However, we didn't want to depend on one flight only. As for example, if we looked at maybe, I don't know, a Greek island perhaps. Another big thing with here was the fact there is a service to Brindisi and also to Barry. So, and in the UK you can go from Gatwick to Brindisi, to Barry, sorry, or you can go from Stansted to Brindisi. So even if one flight disappears, you have still got options to get here, because that was quite important, wasn't it, really?
Yes, definitely, and the fact that we're only a quarter of an hour from the airport is excellent.
That's another good one, yeah.
From this side. But, I mean, a lot of areas of Puglia, like you say, you can get to Barry, and it's not far to go. So it's
and just one final point on the location is that when we looked at research, we realised we can get boats, ferries from Brindisi to Kefalonia to Corfu. We can get from Brindisi to Dubrovnik and other places, and we would like to explore the whole area over many years to come, hopefully. So the location is a good place.
The reason I chose to come and live in Puglia is because both my parents were originally from here. My father left in the 50s because there was no work in Puglia, so he left to basically work in England, and he worked in coal mines for 4 years, and then came back to San Vito, to Puglia, to marry my mother. And I was actually born in the UK, but as a child I kept coming back on holidays, and there was something there was a real attraction to being here. When I was on holiday, it was beautiful sunny days, picking grapes to make wine, olives to make oil. It was a love affair I had with Puglia. So I worked most of my life in the UK, and I built a... Professionally, I worked in the UK, but my ambition was always at some point in my life to come back to Puglia. 5 years ago, we made that decision to come back. what actually drew me to coming back to Puglia was the lifestyle. The quality of life in Puglia is really amazing. You've got beautiful sunny skies every day. You have fantastic food, fantastic wine. Everything is really natural, and it's a real attraction for people to come here. That the pace of life is very much slower. Nowhere is perfect, but Puglia is very, very nice place to live. Here in Puglia, I've built a house, and I have several acres of land with olive trees. And what we're actually doing now is we are producing our own oil. For the first year, we'll be producing our own oil from the olive groves that you see around us. And the oil is extra virgin olive oil, 100% natural. And we're going to bottle it and sell it for the first time. So we'll be selling it through a website called Puglia Shop Online, and it will be our own production, which is quite a very satisfying thing to actually do. Our life has changed quite dramatically from when we were in England. The thing with living in England is that you get up at 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, you go to work, you come home, and you basically watch half an hour, a couple of hours of TV, and then you go to bed. Here, you actually work, but you actually live life. There is much more social things going on. The weather allows you to do things. There is a better quality of life. So for people looking to change their lives and to look for a better quality of life, I think Puglia is definitely the place to be. So basically, moving here has given me more free time than I had in England, and I've always wanted to play golf, but didn't have the opportunity to do that in England because I was working too hard. But now I can play golf. There are several golf courses nearby, very, very good quality golf courses, and so there is lots to do from that aspect. Apart from that, there are lots of small towns, restaurants. The social life is very, very good. If somebody comes here and they want to integrate, you'll find the people from Puglia to be very welcoming, very friendly, very warm, and really are very accepting of people coming into the area and purchasing properties.